The number one tip to build your best body ever that I wish I would have learned so much sooner is to take a holistic approach, including weight training, functional training, mobility and flexibility training, cardio, just incorporating activities that bring great joy to your life. Now, years ago, my argument against this was like, who has time for all of that? But at that time, I was spending an hour and a half to 2 hours in the gym 6 days per week. I thought that's what I needed in order to build my best body. My sole focus was on building as much muscle as I possibly can. But now I realize you can gain just as much muscle from spending 45 minutes in the gym 3 to 4 days per week. And that's what I cut things back to. And now it's opened up so much more time in my day, in my week, to incorporate a lot of these other activities that really don't require a lot of extra time from your schedule there. The other thing when it comes to functional training is I thought bodybuilding was providing me with enough benefits that I consider myself to be pretty damn functional. I think bodybuilding is very functional. It can be very functional. It certainly helped me in a lot of my sports and a lot of my athletics. But once I started incorporating the yoga practice into my lifestyle 18 months ago, it really exposed a lot of muscle imbalances and muscle weaknesses that I didn't realize I had. When it came to like my inner thighs and my hip flexors, they were super weak, and I didn't realize that until I started trying to do some different balancing poses or certain things like even an L-sit, like certain movements where I'm like lifting my leg up off the ground. My quad was cramping because my hip flexors were weak. So the great thing about that is that yoga exposed that weakness, and then I started to kind of modify my weight training sessions to incorporate some hip flexion movements using like the hip flexion machine or some cables, and doing a little bit more adduction exercises, the inner thighs, to strengthen my inner thighs there. So yoga exposed those weaknesses, and not only did it help improve upon those weaknesses and those imbalances by doing more of those balancing postures in those yoga classes. But then I got to incorporate some of those, I got to modify my workouts to improve upon those weaknesses as well. So the two were working hand in hand. And then also in yoga practice, we do a lot of inversions like forearm stands and handstands and crows, different hand balancing poses where I'm like, I thought I was strong enough to hold some of those movements, but in certain ranges of motion, like when I'm trying to get that perfect alignment, like with a handstand, my arms directly above my head, I was okay with my arms a little bit in front of me because I'm so used to doing a dumbbell shoulder press, but above me, I had a difficult time. I had no muscle strength or muscle endurance there. So practicing that proper alignment and strengthening that by doing different handstand holds using the wall and then breaking free from the wall has made a huge difference in making me strong, not just with my arms in front here, but also directly above my head. So strong throughout the entire range of motion. It also identified weaknesses in my back muscles, posture-wise, so incorporating a lot more scapular retraction and like prone shrugs and different shrugging movements that's going to, again, give me not only help me strengthen those weaknesses, it's great for posture and lots of other benefits there. So really identifying a lot of different muscle weaknesses and just incorporating functional strength into my overall lifestyle. I want to be strong through the entire range of motion to really help prevent injuries, because that oftentimes you might be like really strong in most of the range of motion, but if you happen to have to lift something or hold some resistance in that range that you're not as strong, that's going to expose you to injury there. So I'm doing like incorporating this functional training is great for preventing injuries. I'm being proactive here with my overall health and just knowing it's going to help with my longevity and just allowing me to be as able-bodied as I possibly can for as long as I can. And again, like with the functional training, it doesn't have to be anything in addition to your weight training sessions. If you don't want it to be, you can incorporate exercises like the L-sit that's going to develop a lot of upper body strength, holding yourself up there, shoulders, arms, your core is embraced, like you're really trying to curl that pelvis up to lift your body up off the ground. And your hip flexors are going to be engaged by bringing your feet up off the ground as well. If your quads are cramping up, you know that your hip flexors are pretty weak there. So really developing strength throughout the entire body. And again, I love the hand balancing postures because it teaches a lot of body awareness, a lot of body control, especially when you're really focused on controlling the negative, when you're lowering your feet back down to the ground there. But balancing on your hands is great great for the shoulder strength through a different range of motion as well. So again, I just love, that's something to incorporate during your shoulder training sessions if you want to. So just incorporating some more kind of athletic functional movements into your weight training sessions, or just taking a few minutes of your day at home or wherever you are to introduce some of these movements into your lifestyle. This is something I'll share more of these in upcoming videos to help you out. When it comes to mobility and flexibility training, you can incorporate yoga into your practice. That's been great for both the mobility and the flexibility for me. But I also found like I still need to do some static and dynamic stretching at home. I use that as a great way to wind down at the end of the day, or just take little breaks throughout the day. I noticed like my triceps have been really tight. So just throughout the day, multiple times, stretching out my triceps. When I walk through a doorway, stretch out my pecs and the front of the shoulders, which are often tight as well. So again, it's not something that takes a lot of time out of my day, but it can reap incredible benefits from that as well. And again, being proactive with injury prevention and all that stuff. And I would incorporate self-massage in there as well. I've been using the lacrosse ball again. I got away from that for a little while, doing some self-massage with the lacrosse ball and other tools that I use to kind of loosen myself up. So I highly recommend doing self-massage on a regular basis as well. And that can be something you're doing as you're winding down at the end of the day. Snuggling with your loved one or hanging out with your loved one, you're watching TV, just do a little self-massage at the same time, can be very, very beneficial. When it comes to the cardiovascular training, again, it doesn't have to take up a lot of time, like 3 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes, just to improve your cardiovascular condition, your cardiovascular health. And you're not thinking of it in terms of, I'm doing this to lose weight or lose fat or anything like that. It's for longevity. And you don't want to, again, it's not something you want to overdo. There's a lot of overuse injuries that can come from that as well. So try to work in a variety of cardiovascular activities, maybe a jog once a week, bike another day out of the week, do some rowing or stair climbing or something at the gym that offers some different benefits that are going to prevent you from having any kind of overuse injuries, but challenge your cardiovascular system at the same time. So cardio, there's just lots of benefits to incorporating into your lifestyle. You can incorporate some sprint work into your lifestyle as well. Going around the track, doing some hill sprints, something like that. Again, it can be fun and challenges your cardiovascular system in a different kind of way as well. And that can tie you into activities that you enjoy too. Like for me, incorporating paddleboarding into my days when it's during the warmer months here. I love getting out there. Not only can I get out there and challenge myself at times, so I really push in it. It's a great core workout. It's great for my shoulders, great for my back, great for my balance, great for my cardiovascular system. But there's also time I use it as like kind of active recovery. I'm just going nice and easy out there, just getting in a nice paddle. It's great for reducing my stress, which is also a part of the whole holistic approach, like the active recovery, the stress management, and all that kind of stuff that's going to allow you to recover from the work that you're putting in and allow your body to repair itself, rebuild, and grow if that's your goal as well. Other activities, hiking, walking, sports. I play hockey. You can play like beach volleyball. Just get involved in other fun activities that bring great joy to your life. It just keeps your body moving in different ways, in different planes of motion. Again, that can help with, like, it's kind of functional at the same time that you're working your muscles. Like, how often have you ever like tried an activity that you haven't done in a while, played a sport that you haven't done in a little while, and you're like, whoa, that woke up some muscles. Your body's not used to moving in that way. So it's providing a different stimulus that your body's going to have to adapt to and strengthen and improve in order to accommodate that activity there. So I really wish back in the day I would have listened to this kind of advice a whole lot sooner, because I heard it, but I was just so wrapped up in like that, not all or nothing, but just a single-minded approach that bodybuilding was good enough for me. I was achieving everything that I needed to do, but definitely developed some stiffness, some achiness, some tightness, and really a lot of it was just overkill. Just because I love the camaraderie of the gym, I love the activity, I can still benefit from incorporating a lot of this. I've never had more fun in my lifestyle, this active lifestyle I'm living, and I've never looked better than I do right now. in my opinion, at least. Others think I look better when I was not training and I gained 50 pounds of fat. So that, to each their own there. But I've developed not only, I think, the best aesthetic physique here, but it's very functional in all aspects, in all ranges of motion, and just really doing everything I can to set myself up for not only living a long life, but a quality life, and gaining the most out of this experience every moment of every day, and just living my life to the fullest. That's truly what this is all about.